What will be your last meal? When you're eating your last meal, will you know that it's your last meal? Okay, cut, great. Let's say that cake was the last thing I ever ate. Worth it. Food can stay in my stomach, digesting for 4 to 6 hours. Then it moves on to the small intestine and then the large intestine, where it hangs out for a while, like 40 hours. Average time for food to make the whole journey from mouth to toilet for an adult is 53 hours. But if I were to die, the digestion process stops wherever it is, and the food just stays there until it begins rotting. You can imagine that if I died mysteriously, this would be important to pathologists and coroners trying to figure out when I died. If the food is still in my stomach, largely undigested, I probably died pretty soon after cake. Worth it. The average human intestines are over 30 feet long. During an autopsy, the technician has to slice down the whole way, removing all the feces and searching for issues down the whole length. It's called running the bowels. Apparently, it smells terrible, and I believe it. There's an urban legend about John Wayne's autopsy, an autopsy that was never performed, where the coroner found 40 pounds of impacted fecal matter in his large intestine. There's a similar urban legend about Elvis. I guess they're both cautionary tales against the perils of a crappy diet. Interesting pathology fact, since deceased humans are really just slabs of meat, sorry to break the bad news, pathologists have given all kinds of food names to conditions they find in our bodies. Nutmeg liver, chocolate cyst, bread and butter pericarditis, strawberry hemangioma, watermelon stomach. Food, or lack of food, can tell you a lot in the autopsy room, but the meals that you ate can also explain things about you thousands of years later. Coprolites, or dung stones, are basically fossilized feces. Archaeologists are looking for phytoliths, silica that can identify plant cell structures. When you know what kind of plants were in someone's ancient poop, you can tell what the person ate and the time of year that they ate it. It might even have intestinal parasites or pathogens hidden inside. A treat! Since coprolites are dried out, scientists have to rehydrate them to their former poop-like glory. Most people won't eat their last meal knowing that it's going to be their last meal. Are you eating right now? Share this video with 6 people in the next hour or it will be. We just went viral. That's probably why we're so fascinated with people who do know it's going to be their last meal, like convicted prisoners on death row. In the US, that fascination also probably has something to do with our disassociation from death. It provides the curious with a bizarre but socially acceptable way of interacting with mortality. It's a holdover from the days of public executions, attended by many for entertainment. Last meals are a modern version of that twisted entertainment, and they're always covered widely by the media. Kelly Gissendanner, a woman scheduled to be executed by the state of Georgia, had for her last meal 2 Whoppers, fries, cornbread, ice cream, and a salad. Her execution was stayed twice. She's still alive, but that didn't stop the media from doing the whole really fast food and a salad routine. There are many cultures where the final meal is not just the last thing you ate. Your body becomes part of the meal. There was a tribe in Bali where the corpse was laid out on a table and a steady stream of water dripped onto it. Rice husks below the table collected the corpse water, the rice soaked up the corpse water, and then they would cook the rice, sometimes fashioning it into human figures that were served with the funeral feast. Then of course there's sky burial in Tibet or the Towers of Silence in southern India, where you are literally the last meal, not food for worms, but laid out to be eaten by vultures. We eat animals, animals eat us. We eat a final meal, we become a final meal. It is the circle of life. I wish my cat was still alive, because this would be a really excellent opportunity to Simba her. And she would have done it too. So tell me in the comments what you would want your final meal to be, and if you would want to know that it was your final meal. Ask a Mortician is brought to you with support from People's Memorial Association and the Co-op Funeral Home, and donations from viewers like you. Order of the Good Death member Sarah has an excellent blog called Nourishing Death on the connection between food and death, and I'll link that below. I'm also linking a story about hungry ghosts that eat poop, which I didn't have time to cover, but I think you'll like it. I know you guys. Is there something on my face?